Hello, lovelies. Nice to see you. Obviously I've been away for a while. Today's just gonna be a chatty get ready with me. So I figured instead of doing like a really long 40-minute like where have I been video, I would just so much rather do like a chatty get ready with me. If you're brand new to the channel, like I'm just getting some astringent here, some of my ginseng toner as we get ready. I live in Portland, Oregon, so I live in the Pacific Northwest, and it's kind of gloomy today. We just got done with an ice storm like 2 weeks ago, and it was bad, y'all. It was like real bad. Like people couldn't leave their houses, and a lot of people in the Midwest were like, oh, you guys are like blowing it out of proportion, it's just snow, whatever. No, it wasn't just snow. We had like 4 inches of ice, baby. Anyway, you're probably all too young to know that reference. I have had one of the most stressful work weeks I've ever had in my entire life, and but it's okay. Everything's fine. It's gonna be okay. It's just a lot of like different things. I'm trying out this. I got this in a BoxyCharm / Ipsy box, whatever. It's the Saturday Skin Avocado Date Seed Wide Awake Brightening Eye Cream. It's supposed to try this out. I've used it a few times. I will say that I don't know. I haven't used enough to know that's the difference. It does feel like cooling and moisturizing on the under eye. As I'm getting older, I'm gonna be 40 this December. I do notice that I have more laugh lines and more like more crow's feet, other things like that. So, you know, not my favorite thing in the whole world, but it is what it is. And I'm using some of my Project Pan stuff, so that video will be coming up later. I'll probably post this one before. What I'm trying to do is film things ahead of time, because my whole YouTube career, the issue has always been that I've never had enough time to film, edit, do that on like a consistent basis where like the videos were timely. So I think the strategy is going to be to produce evergreen content, so things that are not based on like timeliness. So a lot of my content previously, about 3 years ago, was responding to releases of like plus size clothing, makeup, fashion, things like that. Because I am trying to be much more mindful of my purchases and like what I'm promoting, and like not trying to get into a mindset of like, oh, I have to like be constantly reviewing things or be constantly purchasing things. I don't like that. Like, I don't want that to be my content anymore. I want it to be closer, like more like lifestyle content on TikTok. If you follow me on TikTok, I'll put my handle here. My last my last planned video was because I do like response videos on there too to like dudes who say silly things. My last planned content video was actually just me doing my vegan apple crumble, like what I use, what I put in it, etc. That's what was in there. But yeah, so speaking of dudes on the internet, I have a there is a creator I follow on YouTube who, like, I've been watching a lot of like panning videos, and like she had this new take on project panning. So I'm trying to focus on project panning this year because, like I said, I'm trying not to purchase any new makeup that's like just for the fun of it, because I have so many things I own that I really love, but I never get to touch, and like I don't get to show them any love, and I'm just working through something, like just working through things because I like them. And her name's Sarah Rose. I'll put her in the description box down below so you can go check out her channel. But she had this thing where she says, I've come to this awakening that I don't want to approach project panning as if it's a punishment, right, for having too many things. And I really like that idea because So often as women, right? And I'm not saying that men don't get shamed, but so often as women, we get shamed into having too much makeup, having too many clothes, having like the things that like bring us joy, or that bring some people joy, right? That they will, sorry, I need to get the, like we're constantly being told that like we're too much, we have too much, we, you know, that we're not grateful for what we have, etc., 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 right? But like I don't see people posting those same like shaming comments on like if a guy's got a Rolex or like he, you know, collects watches or collects things and collects golf clubs or, you know, I don't know, whatever, just the stuff they like. And like there's nothing wrong with liking those things, there's nothing wrong with collecting them, but I feel like women often get made to feel like we shouldn't like what we like or that it's silly to like what we like. And I'm just of the opinion that you should do whatever makes you happy and don't let anyone else like tell you what you should or shouldn't like. So often women will get that narrative thrown at them that like they should be more frugal, right? A lot of financial advice for women is about budgeting, saving, not spending, etc., etc. But most of the financial advice that is geared towards men is about investing or making more money or like how to negotiate and do those things. So I just feel like inequality in the level and type of financial advice that women get. But anyways, back to Sarah Rose, where she was like, panning isn't a punishment for having too much. It's just the way she's deciding to view it is that it is a chance for her to enjoy the things that she already enjoys, that she already loves. And I really love that attitude. Awakened position to have to say like, hey, I used to think this thing and like I used to think this and now I've changed my mind because I'm not going to punish myself for loving something that I love, and I'm going to, you know, I'm changing my narrative, I'm changing my prerogative to do this, which I really respect. And I feel like it hit home for me more than I thought that it would, because so often I tell myself like I shouldn't do something, or like I have other things, or these things should be more important to me. And it doesn't necessarily mean that me prioritizing myself is a bad thing. Me wanting to invest in myself and to like, I just view makeup as an art form and a way for me to have my creative expression. And so some days the only quiet time my brain gets is when I am sitting in front of this mirror and doing an eyeshadow look, or doing me doing an eyeshadow look, me doing something to do with makeup, because that is the only time my brain lets me just sort of turn off. And I will put on music, or I'll listen to a spooky podcast, or I'll do something like that. And that's my me time. And that is okay. And there's nothing wrong with carving out that space and time in your life. A lot of times we don't. A lot of times we will feel shame for taking, especially if you do have a partner or children or a person in your life that depends on you. Often women will get made to feel like they shouldn't take time for themselves, when in reality, if you do support other people in your life, if you do have those stressors, it is so important that you continue to give yourself space and time to be like, to just be a person. Like, it's not healthy. It's not healthy to do the people-pleasing behaviors, because what you're going to do is you're going to rack up resentment for the people who are depending on you. And you don't want that. They don't want that. Like, the people who depend on you definitely, if they care about you and love you, definitely want you to get whatever it is you need so that you can continue to show up, right? You can't pour from an empty cup, like you just can't. And you shouldn't have to. And you should have partners, you should have people in your life that help you get through all of those things. This is the Good Apple foundation in light 21. It's just a little too light for me. When I bought it, it wasn't. Right now it's a little too light for me, so, and it's very full coverage. Whoops. It's very full coverage. Silly little, you'll see it looks like a mixed soft serve right now. But anyway, you don't want to burn out. The people who love you don't want you to burn out. And I definitely don't want you to burn out. Dang it, I forgot to put on the grip primer from e.l.f. I really like it. But in any case, it's fine. But you definitely, it helps on the nose because for whatever reason, foundation doesn't like to stick to my nose very well. Shouldn't have to choose between your happiness and being there for someone. You just shouldn't have to do that. So all of that to say that I really liked Sarah Rose's take on it, and I'm just really happy that there are people out here encouraging other folks to live their best life, be their best selves, and not necessarily have to give up the things that they love, right? And I am trying to hit as much pan in this palette as possible. So I'm actually using patchouli as a face and cinnamon as a bronzer, but because cinnamon's a little bit too light, I'm mixing them. So yeah. So trust me, trust the process. It'll all work out. Or not, like, or it could just like really not work out. It's okay. Oh my god, it's sticking. It is sticking. Hold on while I freak out for a second. So it's okay, but I had to do a lot of healing. I had to do a lot of inner shadow work. I had to do a lot of those types of things because I needed to be okay with me. Now, if you've been following me for quite some time, you know that I'm pan, which means I don't fall in love with people for their gender. I fall in love with people for their personalities. And a lot of people are like, if you don't like men, like, because I've made a lot of content about just how hard men are to deal with, like, why don't you just date women? And my best friend and I had a conversation the other day where I said, it would be so much easier to have a wife than a husband, right? Like, having a wife is just so much easier and would be so much more beneficial for my health. And the real question is, okay, Stephanie, well then why do you not have a wife then? Like, why do you not date women? And I finally realized, like, at first I was saying like, oh, well, because like women are so beautiful and it's really hard for me to talk to them and like I'm intimidated, which all of that is true, right? But the truth is that men are very simple when it comes to relationships because most men have not been socialized with relational or emotional skills. And so they're easy to get along with. They're easier to, like, I know that in a relationship with a man, I would not have to heal the parts of myself that I would have to heal if I were to be in a relationship with a woman. Because a woman would make me confront those things about myself and would make me do the inner work because women require relational intimacy, require relational intelligence, require emotional intelligence. And not to say that no man requires that, because that's not true, but most men do not require those things. They just kind of, you know, they just sort of take whatever affection and like emotional, they just sort of take whatever they can get, right? Which in and of itself is pretty, like, that's pretty sad. Like, it's very sad that men don't feel like I've talked to a lot of my male friends and they feel like, hey, I will take whatever affection, whatever emotional support someone will give me because I don't feel safe asking for anything, asking for what I need. And like that to me is really sad, but that is because one, they don't want to do the inner work to get to the point where they can ask for what they need. And two, they know if they ask, then they'll be expected to reciprocate that effort, right? Because I don't necessarily believe that you should, I definitely believe that you should not go into relationships knowing that you are wounded, going in with those wounds, expecting that other person to heal wounds for you. It is not your fault that you've been hurt. It will never be your fault that you are hurt, but it is your responsibility to heal. And I'll be back in just a second. Okay, lovelies, I am back. This is the finished look. I just added some of my single like indie shadows in the corner, like a pinky duochrome, and then like a little bit of blue over it. And then I also am trying to use up this Tarte like trial size, Tartelette tubing mascara. I got this in, I think it was an Ipsy bag, Ipsy glam bag, I'm not sure. I canceled my Ipsy and BoxyCharm just because I didn't want more things coming in right now. I have enough stuff. So trying to use that up. And then my eyeliner is Trooper eyeliner. It's the brown one. It's the KVD-Trooper liner in Mad Max brown, apparently. So cool. Don't know why it had to go apocalyptic, but I like it. I did have like a little bit of trouble. I'll probably post a TikTok of like me doing makeup badly. New ones that have like the magnetic closure. I love that. I can't remember what these are called. It is in Standing Ovation, but it's like one of their newer things. I actually can't wait to, one of the things I do want is their lip oil, their Reviver lip oil. I won't purchase that until I finish at least 2 of my chapsticks. Like I went to Austin for work in early December, like around my birthday, and I bought, for some reason, like a ton of chapstick, just thinking like, it's wintertime, I need all this chapstick, and I didn't really need. This is the finished look. I just want to say thank you for getting ready with me and chatting with me. I really hope that if you are someone who came back, thank you so much. It means the world to me. Let me know in the comments down below, like, are you project panning? What are you doing? Or what are your goals for this year? Like, what are the things you're excited about? What are some things that you're excited to change? Or what things did you already change that you're really excited about? Like, it doesn't have to be losing weight. It doesn't have to be any of that. Maybe you cleaned out a closet. Maybe you decided to go back to school. Like, I really want my social media space to be a space where women can hype themselves up and where we can hype each other up and give each other the lessons and the different things that we've learned so that we are not super dependent on like bad external validation. Like, I want to externally validate you in a way that empowers you. And yeah, that's it. So, all right, my lovelies, I will see you next time. Bye.